Okay. Good morning to everybody. Good morning. It is a privilege. It's a blessing to be alive. I know it's a situation, but God is still good. You might have something going on, but just know the Lord is in control of that, even that. Again, good morning to all of you. Hello to everybody. We'll give you a chance to come in. We can share a word with you. As always, I'm grateful to God for the privilege to be able to share. And here's the reality. As I encourage you, I encourage myself. That's the truth of the matter. So I'm here as a life coach, mentor, spiritual leader, pastor, whatever you want to categorize me. I'm here to get you going this morning. All right, let's go. We gotta go. We gotta go to work. Gotta go to work, man. Life is work. I wish I could tell you something different, but life is work, and we're gonna talk about that in terms of the lesson or the thought today. I'm gonna share a thought with you. I'm gonna give you something to think about. All right. So let's get going here. Let's get started. Turn your setbacks into a comeback. Turn your setbacks into a comeback. So this is a big one. This is huge, brother. This today's point. This is huge. I'm gonna write this down. Excuse me. Acknowledge the fact, comma. You have to confront it. My Lord. That's it right there. Acknowledge the fact, you have to confront it. You got to confront the setback. All right. So, just some thoughts to consider. Excuse me. If you get fired from your job, you know that's a setback, obviously. But you got to confront. Again, I got fired. Why? All right. A divorce, perhaps. You've gone through a divorce. Your marriage failed. Um, Maybe you got some health issues. We're gonna go a little deep this morning. All right? You got to confront it. Confront those health issues. Definitely, men need to do a better job in confronting health issues because so often men wait, and let stuff fester and it gets worse because you didn't confront it. All right. Don't put your head in the sand. You got to confront it. Health issues. All right. Financial. Here it is today. Setbacks, financial setbacks. Um, Credit card, your credit card. You got a credit card or credit cards, and you're spending money you don't have. It's like America printing money, trillion dollar debt in America. Financially, living beyond your means. Trying to keep up with trends and trying to stay in the in crowd. Got to wear the latest designer clothes. Setback. You got the Gucci, but then it's a financial setback. We're going somewhere. Stay with me now. All right. Relationships setback. What are the you have relationships setback, and think about it. I'm gonna get into my lesson here. You have to understand something. If you have a pattern of broken relationships, I mean that's a pattern here. You can get along with nobody. Setback. Why? Why can't you have healthy relationships? Why can't you get along with your children and get along with your spouse and get along with your mother? And I'm not suggesting that it's all on you. I'm simply saying, what role did you play or are you playing in the setback within the family? Business. If you keep failing in business, and we all have had business failure. If you're in business, you're going to have failure. It's going to happen. Investments, it's going to happen. But so here we go. These are points I want to leave with you. Acknowledge the fact you have to confront. Okay. Acknowledge that it is a setback. All right. Secondly, accept responsibility for the setback. What role did you play in the setback? Identify the cause of the setback. What's the root cause? Let's get to to the source. We're dealing with symptoms, right? Symptoms are a derivative of a root cause. So let's identify relationship. What happened? What's the root cause? Is it some childhood issue that has gone unresolved? What's the root cause? Why can't I get along with people? Why do I keep making bad financial decisions? Why? 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 Why am I in my third marriage? Man, that's deep. Hey, guess what? If you're thinking you're gonna remarry and you don't change, you're on your third, second, third wife, husband, etc. You gotta stop and pause, and you keep going through the same cycle. You gotta think about it. Okay, what's the? I gotta identify the cause here. Okay, why don't folk want to be around me? All right. Here's the other point. This is what I'm gonna close with. When you acknowledge the setback, you take responsibility for the setback, you identify the root cause of the setback. Here's the big one. Work to get over the setback. Right here. Right here. All right. So here's the reality. You're going to have to work. You got to work. You can believe God all day long, but you got to work. You can say, God, I believe God, I can move mountains. I believe God, I'm going to get past these financial setbacks, relationship issues. Guess what? You're going to have to work. Accept that. You got to go to work. In whatever area of the setback, you got to go to work. All right. So let me give you a scripture real quick here. This is important because often Christians fail to understand that you got all this faith, but you got to have work. All right. So James said in James 2, the Living Bible, verse 18 says, now someone may argue some people have faith, others have good deeds. But I say, how can you show me your faith if you don't have good deeds? I will show you my faith by my good deeds. You say you have faith, for you believe that there is one God. Good for you. Even the demons believe this, and they tremble in terror. James says, how foolish. Can't you see that faith without good deeds is useless? He says, don't you remember that our ancestor Abraham was shown to be right with God by his actions when he offered his son Isaac on the altar? You see. He says, you see, his faith and his actions work together. It's a marriage. Faith and actions are married to each other. My God. And he says, his actions made his faith complete. So without actions, faith is not made complete. Let me go a little deeper here, okay? He says, and so it happened, just as the scripture says, Abraham believed God, and God counted him as righteous because of his faith. He was even called a friend of God. So he says, you see, we were shown to be right with God. He was shown to be right with God by what we're shown to be right with God by what we do, not by faith alone. Rahab, the prostitute, is another example. She was shown to be right with God by her actions. The prostitute, when she hid those messengers and sent them away safely, away by a different road. Just as the body is dead without breath, so also faith is dead without good works. So again, I got to work. I got to work to bring to fruition. I have to work past the setback. I got to work. I got work to do, man. I got to go to work. You can be mystical and you can be super deep and, God's going to work it out. I'm waiting on God. Guess what? God is waiting on you. Real talk. Real talk, y'all. So we got to go to work. You got this setback. You're in a season of setbacks. Whew. And you want to go to a season of comebacks, but you got to go to work. And frankly, if you think you're going to get there in a silo, in isolation, in some cube or some bubble without people, it's not going to happen. Real talk with the bishop. Because what's going to happen, God's going to use people to give you a gauge of where you are in the developmental process. It's going to use real people to give you a measure, to give you a sense of where you are. You're not going to get this in a corner in a dark room by yourself. He's going to use family, friends, co-workers, church people, folk in the community. It doesn't matter. He's going to use everybody. Because how are you going to know if you matured and you've gotten better from the setback if you have no way of measuring? Goals without measurement it's just an idea. It's an idea. Every goal ought to have measurable outcomes. If your goal is to lose 20 pounds, I'm just being hypothetical, of course, then how do you measure that? You don't measure that just by looking at yourself. You get on the scale. Put an old suit on and see where you are in the process. Put a dress on that you got in the closet when you were small. Put that one on, see how you look. Put that suit on. That's it. I got to confront it, man. Got to confront it. You cannot confront what you refuse to admit. And you can't admit when you won't acknowledge that there is a problem. I need to work on this setback. Gotta go. Listen, y'all be blessed. Have a wonderful weekend. I'm excited. We're continuing our Easter experience. It's a 5-week campaign. This week, the Easter experience, we're going to talk about forsaken for me. Jesus was forsaken for me. It's going to be a great lesson. It's going to be a game changer. You don't want to miss it. Get in the house. Easter is every week. We're going to expand on this thing. All right, you all be blessed. Let's get the word out. Share. Somebody needs a word. Y'all be blessed.